It is not for kings, O Lemuel, to drink wine, nor princes intoxicating drink. There's just a very few isolated places in even Tennessee now, the Bible Belt, where liquor by the drink is not being sold. I don't really have any good thing to say about alcoholic beverages at any time for any reason. There's not ever an alcoholic that walks the streets that didn't take the first drink. He had to get his first drink someplace. The purveyors of alcoholic beverages publish the message that life is not complete unless you have a Budweiser or some kind of wine cooler or Jack Daniels, or if your life's complete, it'll be so much more enjoyable if you spend it drunk. How many families have been torn apart because of it? How many have lost mothers or fathers or brothers or sisters, friends, a family of some kind because of it? We ought to take a firm stand against something that's so life-controlling and life-devastating. And it begins at home. It begins with the parents. It's a shame that some parents are throwing graduation parties and supplying booze to the kids. So one young man was killed a couple of years ago because he overindulged and had an accident on the way back from the party. That's not an isolated instance. She tells her son Solomon, don't partake of it. This is not something for kings. And we certainly, the Bible tells us in the New Testament that we're kings and priests unto God. This is not for kings, she says, nor for princes, people of importance, people of worth, people of destiny. She says, rather, give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. Throughout the history of the church, we've battled with the issue of alcohol, wine, and so on and so forth. Some permit it, some don't. Some permit a little, just don't get drunk. Alcohol is for those who are here, at least for those who are hurting, who have no other recourse. We can fall back to Paul's description of it in the New Testament. It's used as for medicinal purposes only. For those who have nothing else, to those who are in hospice care. If there was nothing out there but alcohol, God, myself, nor the church, either one, would think anything of them medicating, if that was the only thing. She warns him about how destructive it can be. And it's not just alcohol. There's a multitude of things in our society out there today that are destroying young lives every day. Every kind of drug, both legal and illegal, prescription and otherwise. When I was in junior high school, it was sniffing glue or huffing paint. Kids will do anything and everything if they're not warned, if they're not guarded, if they're not watched after. Out there in the schoolyard in front of Tyson Junior High School, we gathered down there, and we would the strongest of us would get each other, and we would squeeze until we passed out because we couldn't breathe. Crazy, stupid things. And mothers must be the first line of defense in that kind of behavior. Mothers, fathers too, you need to make sure that your children, your grandchildren understand without a doubt that there's nothing good about anything like that. She taught him. She was his instructor. It's different, much different. Women are in the workforce to a greater degree than they ever have been before. And so there's so many time restraints, and that's why we can't dwell on quantity of time to get it done, but it's quality of time. Mothers, you've got children at home, and if you're involved with grandchildren, make sure that every moment that you spend with them counts. That it counts, that it's productive, that it's forming and shaping something in their lives that's good and necessary. There's so much time in our society today that seems like it just goes down the drain. It's just wasted. There's nothing accomplished. We got so many recreations and entertainments that we just pass through one to the next one without really doing anything concrete so many times. Making things count when all you have is a little time to count. She was